Welcome back to another edition of Biro Sports Talk. I'm your host, Biro. As always, every Thursday, 7 o'clock, here we are live. If you were wondering why for the late start, what I've transitioned into is actually going live with the black screen until I'm done sharing, and then actually going live as you see now. If you are on Twitch, welcome. Whoa, that's loud. No. There we go. Trying to keep track of comments is an issue of itself using Restream. So I usually have a version of Twitch going. Didn't want the volume though. But there you go. It's live. If you're on Facebook, I do see your comments, so feel free to comment. YouTube, I usually get notified of those comments, and I'll be honest, the ones on YouTube have been nothing but spam. All right, so Broncos and Patriots already moved to Monday night. Breaking news. And here I was going to pick their game. Tisk, tisk. Excuse me. But let's start with the NFL because, that's what we're all about right now is the NFL draft. So, not draft, sorry. What am I talking about? The NFL picks. That's what I was talking about. So last week, continuing this year's trend of actually picking games, we were 11-4, surprisingly. Some misses. Arizona couldn't beat Carolina. Houston lost to Minnesota. San Francisco lost to Philadelphia. And, of course, I have to mention it because I'm a Bears fan. The Bears lost to Indianapolis. And all I can say is, wow. I think they lost because we all know Matt Nagy doesn't have great play calling abilities. He may be a good offensive coordinator, but play calling, not his thing. But tonight, your first Thursday night game on local channels. You have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Bears. I am going with the Bears. I think our defense will hold out on this one. I think we'll frustrate Tom Brady. But we'll see. We'll see if the Buccaneers get the run game going. So, once again, being the homer that I am, going the Bears. Carolina at Atlanta. I'm going Carolina. I just think Atlanta should win this game. They should. But that defense looks bad, especially in the fourth quarter. Carolina's been consistent, surprisingly. They would be better with Christian McCaffrey, but he's still out. So for now, I'm going with Carolina. Buffalo, Tennessee. Tough one. Both teams very good. I'm going Buffalo. Buffalo, I'm riding that train. Josh Allen and company is getting it done. It's what I like. It's what I think is necessary going Josh Allen and the Bills. The Raiders versus Kansas City. If it was at Las Vegas, I might think differently. But since it's at Kansas City, going with the Chiefs. I know home field advantage is kind of moot in some ways this year. But all I can say... There we go. But all I can say is I'm going with Kansas City. Sorry. Okay, that's not as important as I thought it was. Some other news that was headlining. But moving right along, the game that was now moved to Monday night. Denver at New England. I'm going New England. Denver will put up an effort, but I think New England should just a little bit better. Just a little bit. Arizona Jets, going Arizona. I just don't think Flacco's got it for them. Flacco's definitely on the end of his career. Arizona got tough 2 losses here. I think they bounce back finally. Philadelphia at Pittsburgh. The fact that it's at Pittsburgh, I'm going Pittsburgh. Philadelphia always seems... Excuse me. Philadelphia always seems to play Pittsburgh rough. But I do think Pittsburgh gets this one this evening, or Sunday evening, weekday, whatever. It's during 1 p.m. game. Moving right along, though, Rams at Washington. Washington with this all big mess up. I think it's too early to say no to Dwayne. I know Dwayne potentially had his best game ever last game, and he's still benched. He was expected to win against Baltimore. Win against Baltimore. Did you hear that right? One more time. Win against Baltimore. It wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen. But he played very well. And yet he's still benched for Kyle Allen. Now Dwayne Haskins is your third string. Alex Smith is your backup. But I think the Rams got this. I think Rams are proving they're a team to mess with again. They're going to be one of the top teams, and they're going to prove it. Joe Burrow and the Bengals versus Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. Sorry, but Baltimore's got this. Joe with a tremendous win last week, I did predict. However, I don't think they're going to beat Baltimore. Jacksonville at Houston. I really think Houston can get their first win here. Now that they are the first team to fire their head coach. They fired Bill O'Brien, the coach and GM. Yeah, he was both positions. It's always dumb. But I think with the turmoil at that position, you're going to look at Jacksonville with an upset. Dolphins at 49ers, 4 o'clock games. Love 4 o'clock games. Not really. San Francisco, picking them. Fitzpatrick's been doing okay. Got a win last week over Jacksonville. Sorry, 2 weeks ago. Who did they play last week? Good question. They played Seattle and they lost. That makes sense now. Okay. But I'm going with San Francisco. I think they'll put it all together again. Colts at Cleveland. Cleveland's doing great. Above 500 for the first time. I do think the Colts win this. Colts are a surprising team now. I'm not saying Colts because of offense. I'm saying Colts because of defense. Their defense was really good last week against the Bears. Kind of opened my eyes a little bit. Didn't think the Colts had a good defense. I thought they would be more offensive oriented. But obviously it was the other way around. They were a lot more defensive oriented. The offense was lacking. So, Colts for sure. Giants at Dallas. I'm going Dallas. They got to win this one. Anyways, moving on. Minnesota at Seattle. I think Seattle's got this. Minnesota's just going to keep falling down the spiral. It's a little disappointing, but, that's what happens. And your second Monday night game, probably going to be in that later in Monday night time slot. You got the Saints versus the Chargers. Chargers, the visiting team, going with the Saints. The Saints are just that good. Herbert's still looking for that win. Now, with all that being said, and fun, of course. Oh boy, it's all fun. Yeah. Voices for days, man. Don't even try me. Here's the thing about tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about tonight because, one, it's my team. The Bears are playing. And two, Tom Brady's playing. Tom Brady, who is defying all odds by still performing very well. A lot of people think Tampa Bay will win. Excuse me. But being who I am, going with the Bears. Now, here's the thing that I struggle strongly with. I just still don't like the fact that Trubisky got benched already. I wasn't impressed with Foles. Still wasn't impressed with Foles. Statistically wise, had one great season. Otherwise, he's kind of okay. And that's The Bears were priding themselves saying, oh, we can deal with okay. No, 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 we can't. Let's see. Looking. I mean, the Bears have yet to outscore them. They did beat them in week 3. Bears scored 30. Buccaneers scored 28. Granted, they both played very different teams in very different fashions. But being that, I mean, the Bears are at home. They should do better. The problem is, without a stadium full of fans, it's kind of lackluster to play anywhere. That would be home and away. Would not be surprised Bears go 3-2 though. Because let's be honest, Tom Brady's Tom Brady. Tom Brady's going to get it done. Yeah, he lost his first opening weekend in years, but hey, he was still trying to get used to his team. I mean, one of the things people are trying to get their heads around is Tom Brady not using Gronk almost all the time. But why should he use Gronk if there's O.J. Howard? Pretty sure he's hurt, however. I'm going to go back real quick because they do have a list of injuries here, so I can actually give you. Yeah, luckily though, Howard is not injured. Chris Godwin, however, is injured. For the Bears, though, you got Deion Bush. Bush was a big hit, becoming injured. Gibson's not terrible of a hit. Riley Ridley, I'm a little surprised, is out. I haven't heard anything, honestly, on him. Explains why he hasn't been out there. But for tonight's game, I would not be surprised. Bears put it together finally and get a win. We'll have to see how it plays out because, again, Foles, when I compare him to Trubisky, I just don't see what Nagy sees. I think Trubisky gives you more. Trubisky gives you more. However, will you see it again this year? Will you see Trubisky again this year? Well, Foles has a history of getting hurt, so we'll see. The odds are in his favor. Let's talk about. A little disappointed. It's actually tomorrow night. I thought it was tonight. But tomorrow night, you got your Heat, you got your Lakers 3-1. Lakers. As much as I want this to be pushed another game, the Lakers are doing everything to motivate themselves to just close it out. Win every series 4-1. I was a little disappointed in the last game because I thought the Heat would have it. But looking at how this finals is played, that was a long pause. Like, it didn't feel like a long pause, but that was a long pause for this. But looking at everything, feeling it, doing what I need to do, of course, of picking. I said this would be a 6-game series. It's probably going to end a 5-game series. That's not bad. The people saying sweep, I just didn't think it would ever be a sweep. The thing with LeBron teams is they always seem to lose one they shouldn't. if LeBron was Michael Jordan, LeBron would somehow find this clip and motivate himself next year to go 4-0, 4-0, 4-0, 4-0. Again, a difference between Michael and LeBron. Michael would take, hey, nice hair, and make it personal. LeBron doesn't care. LeBron only cares that he wins, which is good. That's his legacy. But he's not aggressive at the same time. He picks and chooses in ways that MJ, Kobe Bryant would never do. And yet LeBron's probably going to get Finals MVP just because of stats. Honestly, looking at it, excuse me, if you take away Anthony Davis, his performance, and you put someone else there, scoring 30, let's say, or scoring more 25, let's go 25. I think the Heat makes this a different game. The fact that Anthony Davis is doing what he's doing is why the Lakers are 3-1. If I had to choose a Finals MVP, I would say it's Anthony Davis, not LeBron James. Again, it goes down to, I think the difference is LeBron's going to get LeBron's. If Anthony Davis doesn't play to the caliber he's capable of, they lose. Now you can say that shouldn't be the Finals MVP. That shouldn't be how you judge it. Thing is, that's kind of how this whole postseason has been. LeBron's always going to get close to a 20, 10, and 10. But Anthony Davis is the one scoring 40. Anthony Davis is the one, even though it's a double-double, he's getting his numbers. But I do think the Finals MVP will end up going to LeBron. There's no doubt in my mind. As much as I would vote Anthony Davis, it's going to be LeBron. Don't count out Jimmy Butler, though, to return. They're a very young Heat's team that will grow, that will get better, if you can believe that. Tyler Hero's done fine. Bam played last game, and I think that might have been why it didn't work. And that's hard to say because, honestly, Jimmy's doing it all. If Jimmy could shoot threes, which I thought he could, they would be even more deadly. Thing is, he's not shooting right now. He's not shooting threes right now. And it's kind of weird. Not gonna lie, I'm oddly not understanding why Jimmy Butler's not shooting threes. It's working. It sure is. Here we go. Let's look at some stats. Stat man. Alright, so Jimmy Butler's, of course, a high scorer. And of course, where I'm looking for stats, I don't see 3-point stats. Alright, Jimmy, show me. Says he hasn't shot. His regular season 3-point percentage was 24%. Postseason, he was shooting 34%. In the finals, he has yet to shoot three, or if he has, he's missed them. which is crazy. The game they won, though, he did shoot 70%. He shot 40% and everything else. He's got to do that too. He has to score. He has to. They need him to be that. And sometimes it's just not possible. Oh man, we need to talk briefly. And I say briefly only because, I'll be honest, baseball's not. Oh boy. Some more breaking news. Man. Some more breaking news. They're thinking Titans and Bills Tuesday. That's a shocker only because gives you more time to prep. Yeah. More time to prep. Well, looking at baseball right now, Braves beat the Marlins, swept them 3-0, win series. The Dodgers can close out their series with the Padres with a 3-0. Rays are up 2-1 in the series, but the game is right now bottom of the first is 0-0. The Astros close out the A's. And you know what? That's kind of funny when you think about it. Everyone wants to hate them, and here they are winning. Oh, excuse me. And finally, last bit of news to report on. Anthony Lynn has finally said, you know what, Justin Herbert, you're a starter moving forward. He's been very much saying it's Tyrod Taylor's to lose. I mean, it's kind of bad that he lost it because a trainer punctured his lung. But Herbert has not done anything to say, hey, I can't be the guy. So, that's where we're standing. As always, though, if you're on Facebook, thank you for tuning in. If you are on YouTube, hey, subscribe, hit that notification bell, get notified. But Facebook, like it, share it. Twitch, I'm trying to grow. Need to get these viewers locked in, though. We're trying to get an average of 3. So I need these viewers, man. Need it. But seeing as it is, dead this week, COVID creeping back in, the Big Ten, Mountain West, MAC all announced their games. I'm excited. Football is back. Fully. Pac-12's named their games. I believe. Anyways. But I'm excited. Everyone should be excited. I know we've been having football, but now everybody's back, and that's more exciting. So I will see you guys next Thursday. Same time, 7 o'clock. 7 p.m. It's what we do. And I will see you